Welcome to spring and a beautiful, sunny, lovely day. We have a lot to catch up on, I feel. There has been nothing too dramatic. There's been a lot of adulting, a lot of decisions made. We've got a Tizzy update and changes with her. So yeah, first of all, let's address Estrid's first 40k competition that never happened. I am very, very happy that there was no drama. So the lorry was kind of, I took it to the garage in October with like a light helicopter noise happening. They had a look at it, they said it was completely fine, and I carried on living my life as normal. And that hasn't gone away, and I think that's why I was constantly like, I hope the lorry makes it, I hope the lorry's going to be fine, because I had that at the back of my head that it didn't sound right to me. But I kept driving it because the garage said it was fine. So off we went. The night before her event, I took the lorry to fill it up with fuel, check all the tyre pressures, check the oil, put some windscreen wash in, and I was really happy with it. And then in the morning, we'd probably got about, 10 minutes into our journey, and that kind of helicopter noise got much, much louder. And then, I rang Dan because he was in the crew car behind me, and I was like, do I risk it and carry on, because that's what my heart really wanted to do? I wanted to get to that event. Or do I turn around now and hopefully get back somewhere safe, take Estrid home, and we all live to fight another day? So heart-wrenchingly, first world problems, this in the grand scheme of things is absolutely nothing. I have got two beautiful, healthy, happy horses and happy humans, and all the alive things that you can't replace are completely fine. But for my life, my passion, I was a little bit upset. So we turned around, so I was on a dual carriageway, I came off the dual carriageway, turned around and started coming home. And then as we started kind of going up a slope, the lorry was making the same sound. It started kind of not accelerating properly either. And I was like, oh, thank God we made this call here, and I didn't have to be broken down on a dual carriageway or a motorway or miles away from home, and Estrid is stuck in a box. So we actually pulled over in a lay-by super close to our house, and got Estrid off and walked the 3 miles home, and then got it recovered to go to the garage the next day, which is incidentally not very far away, but I didn't want to risk driving it, and the garage is up a hill, and I wasn't sure if we'd actually make it up that hill. So it got recovered, went to the garage rang me up the next day and said, there's nothing horrendously wrong with it, but they want to refurbish the engine and make sure that's all okay. So there's something inside the engine, I can't remember what they said, such a non-mechanical girl. I think they said something about pistons. Anyway, they said they could open up the engine, diagnose it, and then tell me what was wrong with it and try and fix it, but that would probably cost more in labour time than it would cost to just refurbish the engine and then have it back. But because there's so many bank holidays, so we've got Easter and we've got all the bank holidays in May, they said it won't be ready until the end of April. And I've actually got another event planned with Estrid in 2 weeks. So Dan is the world's most wonderful human. But first of all, my parents are also really, really lovely, and I am a great example, and I'm very aware of being extremely privileged. I'm privileged in the first place to be able to afford horses, but when things like this go wrong, it comes to a whole new level, then my parents are always there to support me financially or kind of materialistically, because what they were going to do is they have some tow vehicles at home. They had a 1998 Mitsubishi Shogun and a Core Cheval Liberté trailer, which is super new. It's actually barely done anything. And so I insured and I taxed it, and my dad took the Shogun for a drive to make sure it was all okay. But actually the clutch on that wasn't great, and we didn't want to risk towing with it. So Dan was like, right, fine, we'll get a tow bar on the van. So he's got a VW T5 van, which is his pride and joy. He did it up, he put the living in it, he goes biking in it all the time, and he agreed to get a tow bar fitted and to allow me to use that in the meantime to get to my events and go training. Because Tizzy's got man versus horse, I really want to go and take her to more hilly training, because the training from the yard is very flat, it's very roady. There's not like much off-road. So Dan putting the tow bar, which he's doing right now, you can see. There he is, the knight in shining armour.
What are you doing?
Tow bar, Dan's van. Dan fitting the tow bar to Dan's van. Dan doing the tow bar means that it doesn't really matter how long the lorry takes to get fixed, and I can still go to my competitions and, well, hopefully go to my competitions. I will never take just getting there for granted ever again, and kind of carry on training and things. So I know that I'm so lucky. A lot of people in this situation would just have to cancel everything and be happy with training from the yard. So thank you, family, thank you, Dan. I know how privileged I am to have those options. And then it comes to, I know in the last video I said Connie is here to stay, and after she was clean she looked lovely. She's still super functional, and once she's had a refurbished engine in, she's going to be like good as gold, and off she goes. But I think I've decided that, seeing as she is still really functional and the market is really good, that actually I'm going to sell her, because she's such a great little lorry. Like, the payload is good, the horse area is wonderful, she's got a weekend living, a pull-out bed, she's got a hob and a sink and an external tack locker. She's like perfect, but while she's still worth a fair bit and she's going to be in the best mechanical condition, I guess, of her life, apart from when she was new, that it is time to sell her and potentially upgrade. So I've got two options. I know this is super chatty, but I wanted to update you. I'm either going to buy a tow vehicle and keep the trailer for a while, or I'm going to get my own lorry built, which financially the tow car is the more sensible option. But I love having a lorry. Like, the ride for the horses is so much better. You can actually go a little bit faster in a lorry than you can towing a trailer. When I go out and about training, I don't need as much space parking, so that it's all things you could overcome, and having a trailer would be perfectly fine. And I've had a trailer for 9 years in the past and it was all perfectly fine. But I love having a lorry, and I really want to have a lorry. So I've been in touch with some lorry builders who are lovely. They ran me through how they do the bulkhead, the walls, the floor, and I'm really happy with the materials they use and the way they do it. And really importantly, they also do an emergency exit. So I don't understand why lorries in the UK have their ramp on the left, because if you break down, we drive on the left, your ramp is in a hedge or in a wall or in a safety partition thing, so you can't bring the ramp down. So whenever you break down, if you can't move, then you can't get the horse off. So the lorries that I'm looking at have double doors from the wall partition between the horses and the living. They have double doors and a double width jockey door, so in an emergency you can just walk the horse out the back, and it's like a barn style. I think most American horses don't have ramps and they just step off, and it would be like that. So I'm having a chat with them. They've invited me to the factory to have a little look around, and that's like normal, that's what they do. So I'm going to have a look at the build process and the lorries, and then discuss kind of cost and the specifications I want, and go from there. So I would have to use the money from Connie, but also I'd have to get a loan. Financially I can do that, but that means kind of putting off buying a house, because I would use a lot of my savings and stuff for buying a lorry rather than a house deposit. And I've also got to think that I do have a wedding to pay for. So, life decisions to make. You can almost guarantee that I am going to make the financially non-sensible decision, because I really want a lorry. But that's the lorry update. That's taken about 9 minutes. We are now going to go and get estuaried. I'm going to go for a lovely hack in this weather, and I will see you again tomorrow, where I will give you the Tizzy update. I It is the day after the day before. I am just going to grab Tizzy in from the field and then wash her legs off. We're going to do a little Pessoa session with her, and then I'll update you on what's new with Tizzy. So for the observant among you, the update with Tizzy is that she now has shoes on. Now this is my boot. This wasn't going to be my preference with her going forwards. I really wanted to keep her barefoot and ride her barefoot, and she has been for the last 18 months without any issues whatsoever. Tizzy has always through her whole career, shoed, barefoot, whatever, she's always worn the outside of all 4 feet more than the inside. She doesn't land evenly, never has, and no matter how much schooling or strengthening I did, it never changed it. So she's been doing really well. She's only had boots on her front feet, and then we did a 20-kilometre ride, no different than what we've done all of last year, and I looked at her back feet and they were worn so unevenly. The outside had been worn so much more that it was actually twisting her fetlock. Now in hindsight, I could have been riding her with back boots on and we might not have had that problem because it would have worn the boots, not her hoof. This is her front boot, so you can really see like how much more worn the outside is. Like there's literally daylight coming through there. I can't make the camera see it, but there's literally holes. So I've bought her new front boots and I've bought her some back boots. So when she has these shoes off, which will be in 12 weeks time, she will go to all 4 boots while she's being ridden, and hopefully we can prevent the reason that I had to put shoes back on in the first place next time. So at least I know now that yes, she copes really well with just front boots if she's doing kind of maintenance, hacking out for fun, but as soon as we up it into training, that she needs boots all round or shoes. So the farrier, he came out, like I sent videos of her feet, of her walking, he came around straight away. He then had to shave off the, shave off the inside of the shoes for both back feet so that the shoe made her fetlock level and not roll over. He did a really good job, and actually Tizzy's really happy. Like she's striding out really well. She seems to actually be happier with shoes on all 4 feet than she was with just front boots. So it'll be interesting to see, now I know what I know because I am new to barefooting and booting, whether she still feels happier with all 4 boots on rather than just front boots. So yeah, we're doing it for Tizzy. Like, I have no strong opinions on barefoot or shod. I just believe you should do what's right for your horse. And shoes was right for her, especially with training for man v horse, wasn't it? Yes. So now you can come and join us for Tizzy's little Pessoa session. This is like your little strength work non-loaded session a week, isn't it? Yes. Come on then. Let's get it done. It's like 16 degrees today, isn't it? It's warm. This pony could literally lunge herself. Sometimes she's feeling really sassy and like goes really nicely and floats along. Sometimes she's quite lethargic like today. Come on, monkey. And I like to put the Pessoa on so it's just a gentle kind of an ask to bring the nose down and go low and long. Like you can see that she can put her head up. It's not tight. I don't like to tie horses into a position that you want them. I want them to hold themselves, but especially with Tizzy, who likes to be a giraffe, this really helps her come into more of an outline, push from behind and bring her neck down and be nice and long rather than hollow through her back. Like at the moment she's still got her nose up, but once she gets into it and it's like gently reminding her to bring her nose down, she will start going nicely. Whereas if I just lunge her with nothing, she never comes into that position like Estrid. Estrid will go long and low and nicely, but Tizzy needs some reminding to work properly sometimes. Don't you, Wiz? You gonna bring your head down anytime today? There we go, now we're starting. I really like the Pessoa because it's just like schooling but without the inconsistencies of a human. Now, it's almost time for Tizzy to turn around, and I wanted to show you how she does it because she listens to the timer and then turns around and goes the other way. Tiz, I can't do a film and roll you in. Off you go! She's so funny. I can't really, it's difficult to show you when I've got a camera in one hand, but you see she like literally turns into me, walks across me, and then starts going the other way all by herself. You're so good, Wizzle, aren't you? Can we stop being a giraffe now? You were going really nicely, and then I got the camera out, and now you look like a giraffe. Thank you. That's better. I'm tired. She actually went really nicely then. I just didn't have the camera out to show you. Okay, we'll take this off in a second. So that is my update, my vehicle update, Tizzy's feet update, and Manvis's horse training is going very well. She's doing 2 hacks a week and 1 Pessoa session. We're not going to up the session she does. She needs the recovery in between. Like, she's an old girl now. She's more than fit enough to do 40k, 10, 12k an hour at the moment, which would be fine. I don't mind if that's what we do. The winner will be doing, I predict, between 15 and 16k an hour. Just for fun, I'd like to probably do it about 13, 14. But we'll just see how she goes. So we're going to start adding more hill work and slightly faster hill work and see how we go. Should we take all this off now and give you some food? It's so warm, eh, Snoozy Bear?